How many of you out there would like to learn the principle or one of the wealth principles, the wealth and success principles, laws of money that guarantees you will be internally and externally wealthy? Well, that's what we're talking about tonight, the art of giving and receiving, or the law, the principle of giving and receiving. If you're not, as the Bible says that way back in the first book of the Bible that God gave to Moses, and a lot of pretty much everything, every rule and every law as to how earth would run was set in those books of the Bible, especially Genesis, but it set the precedent for how things would be. And one of the laws is Genesis 8:22 is the law of seed time and harvest, or some may call it sowing and reaping, or some may call it, if you don't believe in the Bible or believe in God, the karma. Okay, what goes around comes around. Some who are success gurus or success specialists, they might not refer to the Bible, but they will call it the law of reciprocity. It's the same thing as the law of sowing and reaping, the law of seed time and harvest. My name is Victoria Green Brackens. I'm a professional options trader and a success and achievement trainer. And I am here to talk to you. I always give you the laws or the principles behind being internally wealthy, so that it will reflect itself on the outside and you will be externally wealthy. So tonight we're going to talk about the art of giving and receiving. Yes, there's an art to giving and receiving, and I'm going to talk more so about receiving because that's the part you don't hear a lot. There's a whole lot of preaching on receiving, on giving. Okay, usually when you go to churches, a lot of types of churches, not all churches. Okay. My church isn't like this, but not all churches, but a lot of churches you go to, there's always an ongoing campaign of talking about giving, okay? Talking about giving. A lot of preaching on giving, but not necessarily a lot of teaching on giving. Because if there was a lot of teaching, quality teaching on giving, you wouldn't have to preach as hard or preach so much about giving. But I will talk about giving, but probably in a different twist or turn than maybe you're accustomed to hearing. But basically talking about tonight the law of the art, the principle of giving and receiving, because this is a wealth principle. Okay, the law of reciprocity is a wealth principle. And also we get into the law of increasing returns, which is the law of seed time and harvest. You give a seed and then you will get a harvest. You will always get back more than you put out there. And so tonight, as I said, because it's so much, or I've heard so much, I've been to churches, I've talked to friends, I've seen this happen so much before, that there's a lot of preaching on giving, but not so a lot of teaching. But also, the other half of that is never preached or taught it most times, and it's the art of receiving. It's very important to know how to receive, because if you can't receive, you won't have anything to give, okay? Yes, the scripture says that it is more blessed to give than to receive, and a lot of people say, a lot of preachers say, well, yes, that's the wisdom of God. God says he would use the foolish things of the world to confine the wise, that a lot of things that don't make sense to the average man or the person who is not spiritual, God will use that and say, and they'll use that, kind of as in somewhat of a condescending manner. Yes, the average person will say, it's crazy. I definitely would want to be on the receiving end more than the giving end. That's stupid. And then the preacher just writes us off. Oh, that's the way of God because God gave him. But preaching a lot of times to say, okay, that means you need to give your money, you need to give that, versus teaching why is it more blessed to give than receive, or what that scripture is really saying. Yes, it is more blessed to give than to receive, but not because it's saying, and the average person is saying, okay, if I'm giving away my money, I'm losing my money, how am I more blessed? Excuse me. In actuality, the scripture is saying, if you read that scripture in context and you look at it and digest it and dissect it as well, you will see that it's not necessarily saying it's more blessed to give than receive. It is more blessed to, or it's saying exactly that, but the context of it, or the underlying of it, is saying that it's more blessed to be in a position to give than to receive. For instance, if you have multi-million-dollar contracts in the NBA, the NFL, the Major League Baseball, or the NHL, these guys make multi-millions of dollars, some per year, some over a couple of years. They have these contracts, right? So if these managers or owners of these teams are paying these guys, okay, several guys on the team, several $1 million, and the other guys maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hey, if he's giving those guys that, Can you imagine what he's making? Because this is capitalism, baby. This is America. No one's doing anything because they love you. They're doing it for the bottom line, the almighty dollar. Okay. And so I would rather be the person signing the checks for $38 million, $24 million, $12 million, because that means I probably make $1 billion. Okay. And so it's more blessed to be in a position to give rather than to receive. Wouldn't you be the person that is in the position to help the needy rather than being the needy? I'm not going to go too much into that because, like I said, a lot of pastors, a lot of preachers, a lot of church leaders spend a lot of time. I'm not going to say just leaders in general, because I've been to a lot of leadership organizations and studied great leaders and people who are greatly influential. And they don't spend as much time preaching giving. They do spend some time teaching, but even not as much time teaching giving as they do. But so I'm not going to spend as much time. I'm going to come back to giving. I want to start with the art of receiving, because like I said, if you don't know how to receive the correct way, then you won't be getting very much in order to give. Okay. As I told somebody in the seminar or as I told the group, it wasn't somebody off to the side, it was the whole group. As I told the group in the financial empowerment workshop that I hosted last weekend, and it was great. It was awesome. It was phenomenal. I have people on here from there. I have people that joined up to sign on to take the class and have joined my team and have declared that they want to be the first millionaire made by Milk and Honey. But I told her she has to be the second because I'm the first. Okay, and I'm giving a shout out to Zara May. Hi, Brittany. How you doing, Jay? Funky Town Myth. Dexter, Hans Peter Shabazz, Tony Gamble, Marcus Terrell. What's up? How are y'all doing? Thanks for joining. Hey, do me a favor now. Right now, I'm just going to take this little commercial break. I want you to share this and like this. Share this out on your page as well as like that. Do that for me. This is good stuff. So let's go back to the art of receiving. Okay, because like I said, if you don't know how to receive, you will not be getting very much or be getting very much more in order to have something to give. So as I was saying before I got distracted, I just remember where I was going. In a seminar I shared, and I say this a lot, either you're a person that money runs to your hands, money runs through your hands, or money runs away from your hands, okay? Once again, you're a person that wealth, money, opportunity, resources either runs to your hands, through your hands, or away from your hands, okay? Now, two of them can be pretty good, all right? If they're done, I guess, in, balance, okay? But anytime money is running away from your hands, that's never good. Now, through your hands, God's using you as a conduit, as a channel to say, hey, I know this person can get some things done. And to your hands, meaning it comes to you, and then actually you can use it and go away from you at your choice to actually go out and make more, okay? As I said, and I did not share this with the seminar I taught Saturday, but I should have. I usually do. Most of my students already know this. One of my affirmations is, I'm a money magnet. Every day new money finds me. I'm a money master. Every day my money finds me new money. I say that, it happens. I get checks in the mail, okay, checks that I did not expect. I get settlements, okay, it might be a couple dollars, it might be $30, $40. I find money. I found a wad of money in the parking lot the other day. I'm not going to tell you which store because you might try to claim it. But if you can't tell me exactly, okay, what it was, where it was, and how much, how it's folded, I said, don't send me this kind of stuff because it's not worth it, okay? It was my blessing. It's already distributed into my account, so forget about that, all right? But money, I'm a money magnet. Every day new money finds me. I'm a money master. Every day my money finds me new money. So going back to this law of giving and receiving, or the art of receiving, the law, the principle, seed time and harvest, okay? The law of reciprocity, reaping and sowing, our karma, energy as you put into the universe, it will come back to you because all money is energy, okay? Everything is energy. As I've said in previous live postings or broadcasts that I've had, everything is energy, okay? When you raise your energy, people will be attracted to you, okay? And people will demand something from you. And that's why I say that I don't focus on selling, I focus on serving. Let me give you, this is a little note. This is worth a lot of money. I teach this in my Better Than Average course, but if you focus on serving rather than selling, okay, you will never, ever, ever want or need for money, okay? Because if you focus on serving, adding value to the world, okay, which is, and I'm kind of getting off into the giving thing, but you will never have to worry about trying to chase a dollar. As I told people, I don't chase my dreams, okay, because that's a play on words. Chasing means it's running away from you. I pursue my dreams. I don't chase money. Money finds me. I'm a money magnet. And so because when you get people to say that they're in that hustling mentality, or they're chasing a dollar, they're about a dollar. And those are just cliches that you hear a lot of celebrities, rappers and stuff using. People jump on board and use it, but I don't chase money. Okay, I'm not chasing a dollar. I'm not chasing a check. Okay, it's chasing me, because then you start to step on people to get things like that. Things start to happen when you're chasing money. You shouldn't be chasing anything, because chasing means it's running away from you, and you should be running towards your dream. Okay, but let me get back, okay, to the art of receiving. All right, many preachers and teachers and leaders don't go into the receiving part. The scripture says it's more blessed to give than to receive, right? And I just said more blessed to be in a position to give than to receive. I want to be the person writing $100 and $1,000 tips, leaving it to the waitress so she cries. I've done that before. Okay, not maybe not 100, but that's on my goal list for this year. Not to say that I couldn't give 100 now. It's easy, but I want to be led of God so that I truly touch a person rather than supporting somebody's habit. Okay, so that's the type of thing that I like to do. Some of the reasons I want to be wealthy, not just to take care of my family and help my family, okay, but also to give people cars when they need them, okay, to just go to the utilities place and say, hey, I just want to pay 5 accounts that are behind, pay them current, or you do something, okay, where you can touch a person that's in need, not just a person who's going to be back in the same situation the next time. All right, but I cannot do that if I have not learned how to receive. So the art of receiving, when you say it's better to give than to receive, yes, okay. But the scripture doesn't say that it's blessed to give and it's unblessed to receive. It says it's better to give than to receive. Okay, it's more blessed. All right, because you're in a higher position. Okay, yes, I would much be the manager writing that check to LeBron, because that means I'm making probably 3 or 4 times, maybe 10 times LeBron is making. Okay, if I'm paying somebody $60 an hour at Procter and Gamble, that means I own the company. I'm probably making $6 million an hour. Okay, so yes, it is more blessed to give than receive, but it doesn't mean that receiving is unblessed. It just means that you're in a better position more so when you are giving. Okay, so what about the receiving part of it though? Because if you don't know how to receive, you'll never be able to give. A lot of us have a hard time receiving, one, because it's not taught, and 2 is because of self-hatred that has come from different things different people have gone through, whether it be racial, whether it be your home setting, your family setting, whatever it is. Self-hatred, not being taught to receive, because the preacher always has an ongoing campaign of giving, okay? At least one message out of the month is going to be on giving, okay? Or at least 10 to 15 minutes of each Sunday is talking about giving, maybe fussing about giving and telling, but really if you teach the principles of giving and receiving, you won't have to do that, because if you serve rather than selling, people will come and say, how can I? If I always see this stuff going on in my church, we're always doing something in the community, we're always helping the kids and doing something to keep the kids occupied, that costs money. We're always going on mission trips, we're always going on domestic and international mission trips, we're always doing this kind of stuff. Then the person in the pew says, hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to do something that God is doing so great, rather than a preacher fussing at you and telling you need to give more. And of course, the preacher is living grand and maybe a few other people, but this time next year, you still have as many poor people, struggling people with that mindset, or even more. There's something wrong with that. Okay, when you actually teach the art of the law and principle of giving and receiving, you teach it correctly. You're serving, not selling yourself or selling an idea to get more money, then you won't have to worry. The money will flow, the money will come. Okay, and so when you're receiving, the first thing is this. Okay, you have to learn how to just be grateful and say, I'm glad, grateful to the universe, grateful to God, grateful for this opportunity. When you receive, it shows that you are appreciative. It shows that you can handle it and that you are capable of doing something with it, and that you deserve more. Okay, when you receive it well, meaning not just am I showing appreciation through my lips, but with my life, I'm showing you that I appreciate this and I deserve this because I'm doing something with it. First of all, I told you I was grateful for it. I did not try to give it back. A lot of people have this false humility, or sometimes it may be real humility. Somebody offers you something or says something and you block their blessing, okay, by if it's more blessed to give than receive, right? and this person tried to give to you and you didn't take it, you just block their more blessed, okay? It's more blessed to give them. So you're saying the giver is more blessed. So if someone tried to give something to you, you say, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. Please, please, please. Even though you think that you're showing how wealthy you are or how gracious you are or how humble you are. Really, I've been around multimillionaires. I've been around people, and I'm not talking about just speaking from a distance. I've sat at tables with them. I've gone to lunch with them. I've masterminded with them. They are receivers, okay? They will receive something from you, okay? And so saying, when you actually say, I don't want it, or, keep it, you are blocking that person's blessing. You're also showing God in the universe that you cannot receive, okay? And so if you think you are setting yourself up for wealth and riches, you're actually setting yourself up against a law. And of course, you know that laws will work if you work them, whether you're a sinner or a Christian or bad or good, but they will not work if you violate them, okay? Or they will give you those negative consequences. So the art of receiving is this: just accept. When the universe gives you something, blesses you with something, whether it be somebody gave you a gift card, the girl told you, hey, your drink is on me. Okay, be grateful. Thank you. I'm very grateful for that. I received it. That lets God know that you can receive, that you're grateful, you're appreciative, and that not only can money come to you, but if I know you know how to show appreciation and do something with it, it can go through your hands, meaning that's not always a bad thing. I can use you as a channel, as a conduit, as a roadway, a waterway to bless people. So being a good receiver is also important, just like being a good giver is, okay? Because check this out. Let me give you this example. So let's say you have a child. Most of you, if you have a child, that's good. Hey guys, please share the video, like the video. You have a child and you give that child, you don't have much money. You're doing the best you can, but you bless this child. They wanted something, you got it for them, okay? Let's say they wanted a new skateboard. So you got them this new skateboard. It took a while for you to get it, but you got them the skateboard. You got them the skateboard. They got the skateboard. They look at it and they say, okay, you got me this? Okay. All right. And they go and they put the skateboard somewhere and then they ask for something else. And you don't ever see them playing with the skateboard. They dislike the skateboard. They don't want it. They don't use it. They don't show appreciation for it. How does that make you feel? Does it make you want to buy them the next gift that they want? Okay, no, because they're asking amiss. They're asking just maybe for the wrong purposes, but it also is disrespectful to you. Okay, so you definitely wouldn't want to go and bless them or give them something else. Same thing with God in the universe. He gives you something. He blesses someone to bless you, or puts it on somebody's heart to give you this, to give you that, and you say you don't want to do it, or you say you don't want to receive it, or oh no, that's just even as simple as a compliment. And ladies, we have a big problem doing this. Someone says, hey, I like that jacket. Oh man, this thing is so old. Okay, rather than saying thank you, I appreciate it. Hey, listen, guys, type this right now. Repeat it out loud to yourself, because I want you to be interactive and I want you to type this. Practice typing this, okay? Because somebody might send you a text. They may send you an email. Or if they say it to you face to face, I want you to get in the habit. So I want you to say it and I want you to type it, okay? Thank you, period. I appreciate it. Don't deflect the comment. Don't compliment. Don't say, oh, this old thing, or, hey, I just... Don't deflect the comment. And another way to deflect the compliment is to give it right back. You don't even give it a chance to land in your heart before you give them. And a lot of times that's a false, ingenuine compliment that you give in return. Ladies do it a lot too. Yes. Okay, so one girl says, hey, I love that jacket. Thank you. I was admiring your boots. Really, if you were admiring her boots, why didn't you say it to her first? At that point, even if it's true, leave the compliment where it is, because you're giving her a cheap compliment now, as to say, I'm giving you this in exchange for the compliment you gave me. So guys, listen, guys and girls, people out there, type it, okay? Say it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's practice. Thank you, I appreciate that, okay? Not thank you, I like yours too. Thank you, but really, I didn't really put that much thought into it. Thank you, but actually, this is a bad hair day for me. Thank you, but no, it's thank you. I appreciate it. Let's go. Okay. It's my cousin Romy. What's up, baby? Demetrius, Tanya, how you doing? Larry, how you doing? Okay. Listen, let's see it. Type it and say it. Thank you, period. I appreciate it. Learn to accept, learn to receive, because if you are a poor receiver, you are not going to have much to give, okay? Because guess what? Our gifts come from above. Our gifts come from other people. Your key to the next level probably is lying with someone else, okay? And if you cannot receive it, you won't have it, okay? So you have to learn. We have to learn how. And like I said, I don't blame you. I don't fault you. I commend you for being on here, because you're not taught how to receive. You're not taught to let a compliment land. Just sit there and soak it up. Okay, we don't even a lot of times know how to receive of ourselves, and that this is kind of going over into the giving. You have to learn how to give yourself compliments, give yourself celebrations. All right, like I told people, and I tell them all the time. When I was speaking to a group at Albany Tech, and I also was speaking to, like I said, the seminar that I had last Saturday. When you put something on Facebook, okay, as long as it's quality stuff, and hopefully that's all you're putting anyway, okay, be the first person to like it. I actually love mine. I hit the love button, all right, because it's quality. I'm adding value to the world. This is what I do. This is what God has gifted me to do. So I know how to receive for myself. I know how to, as I forgot who it was in the Bible that had to encourage themselves, and they even made a song about it. You have to learn how to give to yourself, and you also have to learn how to receive of yourself as well. Receive a compliment to say you did it. Listen, if some of us were outside of ourselves, okay, and we had to be friends to ourselves, we wouldn't be friends very long, based on the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we doubt ourselves, the way that we don't appreciate ourselves, we discount ourselves rather than counting ourselves. We wouldn't be friends very long. If you were a replica of yourself and a friend, you probably wouldn't be friends with yourself, okay, because of the fact we're hard on ourselves. But if you want to be able to give, to have a life of abundance, then you must first learn how to receive, or you must be a good receiver as well, okay? Another thing about receiving, okay, when you receive, okay, when you allow somebody to bless you, okay, you're allowing them to feel good about themselves as well, because we just said it's more blessed to give than to receive. How do you feel? Somebody type it. Tell me, how do you feel when you're able to bless somebody truly? When somebody is truly in need of something. I'm not talking about the person who's blowing their money and they're always in your face, whether they're friends, family, whoever, coworkers, but the person you see, maybe you connected with them through church, or that you saw them somewhere in some organization, but they truly are in need, and you see that need, you feel the need. How do you feel about that? Okay, it makes me feel good. I don't know about you, but it makes me feel good. Tell me how it makes you feel when you bless somebody else, okay? And that's the thing. When you send out seeds like that, okay, it's going to always bring in a harvest for you. You know, the law of increasing returns is related to the law of sowing and reaping, or seed time and harvest, okay? When you put a seed in, it's always going to produce more than what the seed was, okay? So if you know it makes you feel good to give, you have to give other people that opportunity. Once again, you're giving. When you receive, you're giving. Look at that, okay? When you receive, you're giving somebody the opportunity to be blessed, okay? Somebody the opportunity to feel good, to feel that they made a difference, to feel like to celebrate, okay? When I'm able to do things for my family, to take my mother on trips, to buy her things, to bless her and give her, buy her house, it makes me feel freaking awesome that God has blessed me to do that. So when somebody wants to give to you, even if it's a small token, listen, I used to be the person that say, and I feel this way. I say, hey, listen, God has blessed me to be in a place where I'm grounded in Him. There are things that I like, that I want, that I pursue as far as traveling, good food, clothing, this kind of stuff. I'm into certain things, right? God has blessed me to pretty much buy whatever the things that I want, okay? Or if I don't just say, okay, it's not time to buy them now, I can have a plan to get them, okay, if that were the case. But listen, so I used to tell people, they say, what do you want? Give me this. And I say, hey, don't give me anything. I can pretty much do. And I feel that way. But if somebody comes to me and gives me something, okay, and it's something that I like, that I can use, that I don't have to spend money on it, I appreciate. And even if they say, you know what, I just want to give you something, please tell me what you want, okay? Because eventually, if they really have a true heart to give, they'll probably end up giving you some money or something anyway. Money, always the right color, the right size, right? But if they really want to, okay, give you something and say, oh man, I made her day. Oh man, that's something she needed, something she wanted. Just give them a little trinket of something. You can say, hey, I like the rose balm. And I think they're not making it anymore because I tried the store and I tried online. The rose balm, which is the little lip balm in Bath and Body Works, is made from rose petals, right? I think it costs about $5.50 for a little can of it. Something like that. Just say, hey, I need some more of that. And they feel like they bless you, especially a lot of times older people. A lot of times they might not have a lot of money, or you say, this is my favorite food, make this for me. But giving people the opportunity, if you know it feels great to give somebody else that opportunity. All right, guys? So please do me a favor. If you're on here and you have not done it, like it and share it. Like and share this video. Stay interactive, stay involved. Okay, so when you give a person that opportunity, not only are you blessed because you're receiving, okay, but that person is blessed as well, okay? And so another thing, the art of receiving, okay? The art of receiving is this, okay? Somebody wants to do something for you. You allow them to do it, okay? You're blessed because you have more than what you had, and they are blessed because they gave. And the Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive. Okay. Now, let me tell you as it relates to another principle of receiving that, like I said, you never hear about preaching and teaching. Well, you very rarely hear teaching on giving, but you hear a lot of preaching, but you don't hear either of them when it relates to receiving. But that's good as well. It's just as an important principle. Okay, so listen, here's another thing about receiving. You can say, yes, I'm going to start receiving, but then there's a right way to receive. Not just being grateful. I talked about that, being grateful, showing the person you have genuine interest. You are genuinely, grateful for it, okay? Not genuine interest, but you're genuinely grateful for it, okay? So another thing is this, all right? When you receive and you're giving a person that ability to bless you, let it truly be the ability to bless you rather than something you do not like and you put that energy into the universe. Let me give you an example. I used to have a friend, okay? Years ago, before I got married, I was still courting my husband, okay? Or he was courting me, or having said, okay? All right, so we were out. I think it was Valentine's Day or something like, or no, it was my birthday dinner. So we went to my favorite restaurant. We double dated. Well, it was a double date, and then another third wheel came along, so it wasn't really that double date. But hey, that's neither here nor there. So we were out on this date. So my friend, who was unhappily married, okay, who is has all types of issues, tied up in her relationship, and I'm surprised she's still. Well, I'm not surprised because really she's just kind of going with societal norms and how things are supposed to look, okay. But so she was giving me advice. My husband gave me this gift, and I did not like it. It was not my style, okay. I knew I would not wear it, okay. So I took it and I said, oh, okay, oh, that's nice. And I said, thank you, okay? However, I knew that later on I would talk to him about the gift, okay? But as somebody told me before, I don't have a poker face, okay? I pretty much, I'm very blunt, I'm very straightforward, and a lot of times my face will give me away, okay? So my friend said, you don't like it, do you? I can tell. She said, you were supposed to take it out, wear it, okay, take off the other bracelet or whatever, wear it home, and that kind of stuff. And I said, no. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, never would I take marriage advice from you, okay? The Cuban entertainer Pitbull, he said something so great. He's a multimillionaire, okay? Came from the slums of Miami, all right? He said, listen, I've learned from the worst, but listen to the best. If you get that riddle, if you figure out that riddle, you'll figure out success. Once again, he said, I've learned from the worst, but listen to the best. If you figure out that riddle, you'll figure out success. Okay, and that's one of the favorite passages out of the Bible that I have, Proverbs 24, that I open up with a lot. That's one of the foundation scriptures of my life work. Okay, it talks about you can learn your way. You can learn something in every situation, whether it's what to do or what not to do. So I can learn from a person who has an unhappy marriage or who's failing or has been divorced. I can look at them and take instruction, as Proverbs says. But them teaching me something and letting them tell me something, you don't take money advice from broke people. You don't take marriage advice from unhappily married or divorced people. Okay, you can look at let the wisdom of God show you something about their situation, but they can't really tell me anything. All right. So I said, no, I'm not going to start, going back to my friend, I said, I'm not going to start out like this. If I don't like this gift, before we ever get married, it's time for me to sit down with him and say, hey, this is my style. This is what I like. You have to pay closer attention. I will give you hints. You can listen. You can look. You can learn. But I will not be accepting gifts and acting like I like them. So this person, okay, this girl, she has a lot of gifts that she does not like, or she doesn't even get gifts because she never had this talk with her husband. Okay, so then he saw it as being unappreciative. Later on, it got down in the years, and he never understood that he's not doing anything wrong because he's getting her gifts, and rather than her saying, guys, it's just communication. This is how you receive. Okay, so if I'm receiving something, but it's a false appreciation, that the negative energy is still being released into the universe. So the other person feels bad. You have not received, you feel bad. You have not received correctly. Rather than sitting the person down and saying, hey, I appreciate you giving me this subscription to the meat club, but I'm a vegetarian. I'm a vegan. Now, of course, I know there's no subscription to the meat club, or probably is, or listen. I appreciate you giving me this nice fedora, but I don't wear hats. Okay? Or you giving, hey, guys, sitting down and saying, hey, I don't wear heels, or I don't wear flats. I appreciate it. But let me just let you know, is it okay? I'm going to probably take this back and get something that I do like. And people say, well, that's not. So is it better? Okay, you're not being rude, but is it better to have a collection of things in your house that nobody, or that you cannot use, or that you end up giving away so the person did not bless you anyway? That's when you get back into those old cliches, guys. We've talked about cliches before. It's the thought that counts. It's not the thought that counts. You thought or did not think enough about me to actually learn something, or even ask me, or to say, and it's just the thought of saying, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Okay, guys, it's silent, it's quiet. I don't hear a lot. People are not really responding, but it's true. It saves a lot of friendships, relationships, marriages, a lot of trouble. Okay, that's a way to receive, to be grateful enough to say, hey, I don't want your energy to be misspent. I don't want your gesture to be misspent. Please listen, if you want to bless me, do this. And I've had people to say, I've seen a lot of millionaires and billionaires do it. Okay, have parties. You might have seen it on TV and say, hey, listen, don't bring a gift to my child. Don't bring a gift to me. Give it to this charity or donate. That's still another way of saying, hey, you still bless me because you still gave. Somebody's going to be blessed. I'm happy. You're happy. Hey, the law of reciprocity keeps going on. Okay, so listen, knowing how to receive is actually giving, adding the right value to a gift. That's what we're going to call it. Okay, adding the right value to a gift so that it blesses you, it blesses the other person who's trying to give to you. Because if you hate the gift, that negative energy went back to the person who was trying to bless you guys. And hey, this might be stepping on a lot of toes, and people might say it's being rude, it's being blunt, but I don't beat around the bush. Okay, the truth will make you free, but a lot of times before it makes you free, it will tick you right off. It will rock your boat so hard, it will step on your toes, it will do a lot of things. But that's why I'm not a motivational speaker, I'm a confrontational speaker. See it for what it is, take it, apply it to your life, and live better. Okay, so that's going into the art of receiving. Okay, also, this self-development program, one of the first I ever got into, it was personal and business development. Okay, extensive curriculum. I did several, about a year and a half of courses and doing things. Wonderful, changed my life. Okay, but one of the first things they taught you was about budgeting your money. And in budgeting your money, they said something about having a play account or a play jar, which means in each month. Okay, you guys know that there's a law of the wealthy that says you have to pay yourself first, right? But most of the time that means you invest, you take some of your money and you invest it, which is right. Okay, you save and you invest, you have some money, okay, put to work for you, so that the more and more you get, the less you have to work, the more that you accumulate in your investment accounts. And that's true, guys. That's what I teach. That's true, right? But also, pay yourself first doesn't just mean you're putting money in an account to make more money for you so that you can use it later. You need some gratification right now, okay? That's how a lot of people crash off of diets. That's how a lot of people crash off of budgets and saving, and they go back to their old habits because there's no kind of gratification in there for them right now. You don't need to blow it all and splurge, okay? You need to be reaching your goal, but you also need, you're human. You also need to reward yourself. You also need to give to yourself. So in this particular development program, they had a play jar. They had a play account, okay? And so that means every month, about 10% of your income, 5 to 10%, whatever you want to do, you have to spend it on you, on something you like, somewhere you want to go, whether it be a massage, some kind of clothing, something where it's just for you, and you have to use it every month, okay? It's something that's just for you, or if you want to save it up and go on a shopping spree, however you want to do it. But it says, hey, even though I'm in this thing, I'm working so that I can stop working. I'm working hard so that I can work less hard by putting my money to work and that kind of stuff. But right now I need something in the game to say, hey, you're doing good. You're doing a good job. You go to work every day. Okay. You need a reward for that. Okay. It's not I owe, so off to work I go. You need to reward yourself so that you don't get into this grind of say you do everything for something else. You're working every day for the future. You're working every day to pay bills, to pay somebody else. Something in there has to be for you. It says to your subconscious mind, I'm important. This is about me. I want to have a life. I want to have more of this. Okay. If you spend your money once a month or once a week or whatever, you treat yourself to a massage, your body and your mind starts to say, hey, I like this. I want to do more of that. And that motivates you to do more. It motivates you to invest more. It motivates you to work harder to get money into that investment account quicker, or to make more aggressive investments, or to learn more about investments, because you're rewarding yourself. But when you don't reward yourself, subconsciously, you're telling yourself you're a loser. You're telling yourself, hey, go to work every day. Keep your head down and work for somebody else. Work to send somebody else's kid to college. Work to pay somebody else's bills, because that's what you're doing when you're paying mortgage, you're paying credit card bills, you're paying utilities and that kind of stuff. Okay, work for somebody else rather than celebrate even just a little bit, just 10% or 5% of your check. Yes, 10% to tithes or charity. Yes, 30% into your investments, whatever. But yes, paying yourself doesn't mean that's taken care of by putting into your investment and savings account. You still need something just for you. Okay. If you like good food, where you just go and try a new restaurant, even if, the steak on there costs $65 a wok, but it's the best steak ever. Okay. Or even if it's not, you get to see if Henry Campbell's is the best. Okay. I don't think Henry Campbell's was decent when I had a rib out there, but I like the one at Longhorns here better. Okay. But you be the judge of that. Okay. You give yourself. And that was when I did eat red meat, guys. But hey, listen, you be the judge. You do something nice for yourself, and you that sends a message to your subconscious mind, not only that you're worth it and that you want more of it, but it also, okay, this is something I'll get to in a minute when I get into the giving part of this. We've been talking about receiving. It is always so that act as if principle. Okay, the Bible says, speak things that be not as though they were. They call it in success psychology, act as if. Act like you're already a millionaire. Act like you're already wealthy. I went over this with the seminar group Saturday, okay? When you don't worry about money, okay, you're acting like a wealthy person, okay? Money is something trivial. The Bible talks about money being one of the lower things. If you can't master money, you'll never get into the higher spiritual things. The Bible talks about that. The Bible actually downplays money and says, yes, money answers things, but that's one of the least of things you should be worried about, okay? As a matter of fact, it's nothing you should be worried about. We should master money rather than money mastering us. So when you give to yourself and you treat yourself and you say, well, okay, I got a family and this kind of stuff, and so I got a budget. But every now and then you say, hey, I want to stay at the Four Seasons. I want to stay at the Ritz. I want to stay at the Plaza versus staying at this Comfort Suites or whatever. Yes, they're good. We talked about how the wealthy use their money wisely, and they probably will stay at the Comfort Suites. But sometimes you need to act as if you already are a millionaire. If your goal is to be a millionaire, you already retired. Okay, when you say, listen, I want to be like Victoria. I want to retire in the next few years. Truly. And some people say I can't retire at 35 because I'm past 35. Okay. So you might not, but you might can do it in the same time frame that I did in about 3 years. Okay. Guess what? How does that feel Take a day off from work and go and pick your child up early, or go to one of their events, or just spend the whole day. Go to the gym in the middle of the day when it's not a whole lot of crowd there, like at 5:30, when it's like you might have to wait for a machine. But in the middle of the day when you have the doctors and the lawyers or the entrepreneurs and there's not as many people there, okay? And you're not in bumper to bumper traffic being frustrated. Take a day and live as if you're already there, because the more you do that, the more your subconscious mind, you guys know about the subconscious mind, it doesn't know the difference between stuff you made up and stuff that's true. So the more you tell yourself you're wealthy, the more you tell yourself you're a millionaire, the more you tell yourself you're retired at the age of 35 or 40, the more it believes that, and it starts to make a plan, especially before you go to bed at night, because you sleep on it. It goes into your subconscious, especially when you get up during the day. God gives you a plan, okay, when you say, this is what I want. Okay, don't worry about the how. This is what I want right now. And then when you say, okay, this is my plan, God says, okay, here are the little pegs to put into that plan. All right. And so acting as if is a way not only to receive by allowing people to bless you and blessing yourself with the money that you receive. Because if you receive a check and none of it goes for you, and you say, oh man, I'm a mother. Mothers are good at this, or women, mothers, okay. But a lot of people say, hey, I got to take care of my family. Guys, I got to take care of my family. And so you're telling me you work 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus hours a week, and there's nothing, zero in that check for you? And I'm not talking about your savings account or your investment account, okay? Because when you talk about savings, you're talking about the future. And a lot of times, like I said, do not have savings for a rainy day or an emergency fund, because that's what your intention in the universe is, that something bad is going to happen to get that money. But say you have a contingency fund or an opportunity fund, which is good. You have money saved for something in the future, or you have an investment account. That's not for you right now. That's for the future. What do you have for you? So you mean to tell me, okay, it's no wonder people are depressed. It's no wonder people are down. It's no wonder people can't wait till Friday, okay, TGIF. It's because if you work all these hours and nothing is a check for you, yes, it's great to take care of your kids. The Bible says you're an infidel if you don't take care of your household first. At the same time, taking care of your household means taking care of you first, so that you're a whole person, so that you have the value, okay, the untainted, unadulterated value in you to give to the world, starting with your family, okay? But if you don't appreciate yourself, okay, how do you expect people in the world to appreciate you? I've heard people say it again and again. You teach people how to treat you, okay? One of the first ways is how you treat yourself. If you don't care enough about yourself to take 5%, 10% of your check and do something for you once again, here's a little nugget right here. If you say, I can't afford it, you definitely need to be on more of these Facebook Lives. Well, or go back and look at some of my other videos, because like I said, this is probably one of the last ones I'm going to do. You definitely need to be coming to some of my free seminars and seeing if you want to join up on some others. You definitely need to read my last book, Better Than Average. If you cannot squeeze 10% out of your money of each check to enjoy your life, okay. The goal is to get where you use 75 to 90% to enjoy your life. Okay. Guys, learning to receive is as important as learning to give. Okay. And like I said, you don't see it a lot. Just like I talk about a lot of stuff that's not taught in the school system. And it's a great disservice, but great disservice from a lot of platforms, from a lot of pulpits where we don't teach about giving and receiving, that we definitely don't even preach about receiving either. Okay, learning how to receive, learning how to accept what God has for you. All right, shows you that you're appreciative. It shows Him that you're appreciative. Okay, so let's go into giving now. So if you have some questions, put them on here. Okay, but please hit the like button, hit the share button. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about giving, because I said I know a lot of preachers preach this to death. Okay. They don't do a lot of teaching, but I've seen people preach it to death. They're fussing a lot about giving all the time. Okay, you visit the church or you go to the church, and every time, at least 10 minutes, okay, 10 to 15 minutes out of every Sunday is going to be, you should be giving more. You're just is more blessed to give, this kind of stuff, right? I mean, in reality, if the principles, the art, the law of giving and receiving were taught properly, okay, the church would be overflowing with giving. Okay, because people would have a lot more to give, because they would know how to receive. They also will understand the principle of giving. Now, the giving pledge, I put that, I think, on one of the post to invite you here. The Giving Pledge. What is the Giving Pledge, right? So Giving Pledge is this. It is a pledge or a document, a vow made by some of the billionaires in the world. I think there are some multimillionaires in there as well, but Warren Buffett, I think Bill Gates, I'm not sure, I think they said Oprah. I'm not sure, but there was a basketball player I think that just did it. But Ray Dalio, he's a financial guy, but these guys are billionaires. Mostly all the ones I named just now are billionaires, or high multimillionaires. They have signed a pledge to say that they have things set up where they're going to give away the majority of their wealth when they pass away, and not to their children. They have something set aside. They have a lot of times portfolio advice. They would tell their kids, if you do this, this, and this, because I just read the book by Tony Robbins, Money Mastered the Game, where they pretty much tell you how they invest and some things, some principles to adhere to. And then they have some money for their family, but a lot of them, I think Warren Buffett, or it's Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, is giving away, I think, 99% of his wealth. And that shows you how wealthy a person is if they can live off and their family can live off 1% of their wealth. You're doing pretty good, okay? So, but the Giving Pledge says that they're going to give away the majority of their wealth when they pass away to charitable foundations, okay? And you guys know a lot of them already are doing that. Rockefeller, okay, did a lot of that. Carnegie did a lot of that. Some of the richest people in the world, givers, okay? Some of the richest people in this city, some of the richest people in this state, some of the richest people in this nation, okay, like I said, been around millionaires and multimillionaires, some of the nicest people, okay? Very philanthropic, okay, giving away a lot of money, doing great things. And this is where I want to give a little commercial break. This year at my church, I will be hosting, I don't think my pastor will have a problem with this, but, and I meant to run it by him, but hey, I will be partnering with Angel Tree. If you don't know, that's an organization that delivers presents to people, to kids whose parents are incarcerated during Christmas. Okay, we're gonna do Angel Tree, but we're gonna do Angel Tree VIP. And remember, I told you, anytime I offer something, if I say VIP, it doesn't mean very important person. It means very intense pursuit. So it means you're going a step further. Okay, you're doing everything possible to get the highest return on your investment as you can. So a lot of times we talk about, I've had this discussion with a couple people over the last year or so. During the Christmas season, it's a lot of giving. But what about the other 11 months of the year? Okay, so VIP Angel Tree will be doing something every quarter, every season to help these kids, because as a child, I received gifts from Angel Tree. It's not because I didn't have a lot of gifts, because a lot of times, like I said, my aunts, they worked very hard to bless us because we had gone through so much. The things that they could control, they worked hard to control them. So they didn't want us to be without, even if it caused them to run up stuff on credit. They did a lot for us. So at one point, one of my aunts was like, do you think we should hide some gifts? Because they're going to come here and say, you're already too blessed. But it really wasn't about that. It goes back to that giving and receiving. How you bless the person that's giving by receiving. It was because my real mother was in prison, and she actually would have no other way to give a gift than sending it through these people. And for her to say she was responsible for that, that makes the person feel so much better to say, oh, this gift came from me. Okay. And they would come and say, it's from your mother, whatever. And that makes the person that's incarcerated, not to say why they got there, they could have an opportunity to be on the street and do it, but it gives that person a warm feeling to say that when my child opens this gift, it's going to say that it's from me. Okay, so it's not like, okay, I needed the gift per se, but my mom needed it to get to me, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to be doing that, the Angel Tree Ministry. Okay, that's something we're going to be doing that for the first time at another church. I used to be a part of it, and then it kind of went away. But I just felt the need to do it, okay? And like I said, doing it on another level rather than just the Christmas tree part of it. So listen out for that. If you want to join up, if you want to sponsor a kid, a child, if you want to help out, be on the lookout for that. We're going to be doing it. I'm putting it out there because I want you guys to hold me accountable. I have a lot of things going on, but I know this is in my heart to do. And I know that it's something that will be blessed and will bless many as giving and receiving. But things like that, okay, those are the act as if principles, okay, or act as if theory, to say that even though, okay, maybe I can comfortably sponsor one child, okay, but a person who is in the position that I want to be in, okay, a millionaire by the age of 40, making six figures in several businesses per year. Okay, how many would they sponsor? Okay, so I say I'm going to start out with 3 kids. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Spirit. Okay, just going in with 3 kids. And people might say that's a lot. Okay, but hey, I can push myself. I can do it. And I'm acting as if it's already, something. And then also growing. As Tony Robbins said when he first started feeding families. Okay, he was almost poor. Okay, but he said, this is something I want to do. And guess what? When you put that seed in the universe, it's the law of increasing returns. A seed never comes back as one crop, as one fruit or one vegetable. It comes back as a harvest, as a multitude, right? So the more you seeds you put out doing things like that to people who are truly in need, okay? Because guess what? We say we give to God. Really, God doesn't need anything from us, okay? But the Bible says when you give to God, when you give to the poor, you lend to God, okay? And lending comes with interest, usury in the Bible, okay? And so giving to people, it's great to bless your family, the people you love, the people who are close to you, but it's better when you bless people. They say that can give you nothing in return, can never pay you back. That's how you plant. That's how your seed multiplies. That's how you actually get some really good soil when you give to people who you know are in need, okay, and who can never in a million years pay you back. That's the kind of giving we're talking about, not versus a preacher telling you to give to the church. And like I said, it's an elite few, a very small percentage of the church that's very well off and doing great. And they're probably going to be doing great at all times because that's who they are. Maybe how they're brought up, or they're in a certain clique or a certain family, something like that. Because whether or not you like Donald Trump, this is the thing. He has a financial thermostat, a financial mindset set here. So $1 million to him, he would be broke. Okay. Bill Gates, same thing. Warren Buffett, if he had $10 million, he probably would feel he was broke. Okay. If they lost all those guys, if they lost all their money, okay, today, next year, this time they would have it back and probably more, okay, versus a person who wins the lottery, okay, and has a poor mindset, the average person that you take off the streets or out of a poor neighborhood. Next year, this time, they will be back to where they are, or even broke, meaning even in debt, okay, because of the mindset, because there are certain principles, okay, and so learning to give, to actually add value to the world. We're going back to that now. How a lot of people say I want to make more money. You can't make more money. If you make money, you're going to jail. You cannot make money. Okay, making money. The Mint does that. Okay, the U.S. Printing Bureau engraving does that. But we don't make money. We earn money. How do you earn money? By adding value to the world. Okay, giving. You have to be giving. Like I said, never will I sell. I'm serving. If you serve, your gift will make room for you. Okay, what you give to the world makes room for you. People have a demand for it. There are certain people that are going to be attracted to me, that will follow me, that will get into the seminars and things that I do, read books. There are certain people who will totally say, I want nothing to do with her, but they will maybe follow another person. There is supply and demand, okay, in the earth, seed time and harvest. The seed time, the time that I spend investing in myself, okay, putting in work as a volunteer, putting in work in a classroom, putting in work in self-development seminars, hundreds of hours, tens of thousands of dollars. The time that I spend in prayer and meditation and reflection and planning and studying, okay, that's the seed I put in the earth, okay, and it comes back in great teaching and learning. And when I say, listen, going back to receiving, when you receive a gift, thanking God for it. This is what it looks like. God, I'm grateful for the gift of teaching and learning, that I empower minds and change lives. It's not cocky. It's saying, I know that you blessed me with this. People tell me you blessed me with this. The results show that you blessed me with this. This is how I give thanks for it. This is how I receive it. Okay, this is how I receive it, by saying I'm grateful for it, and then by showing I'm grateful for it. Because like I told you, kids can be born with raw talent and be surpassed by somebody who had mediocre talent. Okay, not as much raw talent born with, but they honed it by sowing that seed, getting around people, studying, making it better, and they will surpass the person who was born to do it. Okay, because that person who was born to do it is arrogant. They don't plant seeds. So a lot of times while preachers are saying plant seeds, give your last, it's not necessarily give your last to the preacher, to the church, where the church is already a storehouse. Give your last could mean go ahead and take that course. Go ahead and get in school. Put your last, because guess what? If it were enough to sustain you, okay. If a seed was enough to sustain you, you wouldn't really have to worry about planting it. But because it's not enough to sustain you anyway, go ahead and put it in the ground and watch it come back, baby. Watch it come back. Watch it come back. So listen, okay. A lot of times we just, it means the prophet Elijah, you give your last to the prophet. Give your last. Sometimes your last energy, your last money, okay, to saying some. It could be, you might be saying, hey, it might be a Mary Kay kit, okay, where they're saying, I don't know how much it costs for you to buy the first kit or something like that, okay, versus going and and no, I'm not going against, because there are certain people who will say, and God has truly led them to say certain things, but in reality, a lot of times we're disservicing people by telling them, give your last here, versus when it's really saying give your last as a seed, as something that's going to grow. Put it towards an investment that's going to work for you in yourself so that you add more value to the world. Okay. So adding value to the world is how you earn money, not making money. So, hey, listen, when there are certain things that I give away classes. Matter of fact, my 3-day seminar coming up, I gave away one on here. I give away maybe like 2 or 3 of those now. Okay. The class chart is anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000. I've given them away for free because I believe in adding value. Now, why won't I just give it to the average Joe that says I need some help? Let me do it. I mean, let me go for free, because in adding value, it's not just about the money. I know that if I give it to you for free, you're not going to take it as serious, versus if you had to come up with the money on your own. I've done it before. I'm a living testimony. I bust my hump to get that $6,000 that I put on the credit card, okay, to get it back, and then some. So I got in the class and studied. I put the stuff to work. I said I'm going to either succeed or fail, but it won't be because I didn't try, and it worked. That year, my business grew over 900%. Okay. So when I add value to the world by giving you an opportunity, okay, that's a seed I put out there. So when you bless your family, you bless others, and you teach them how to fish, okay? Or if I give you the opportunity to pay for it yourself, okay, you will appreciate it more. And I've had people come back to me and say, hey, when you said that in the seminar, that if I didn't have $2,000 or $3,000 to pay for the class right now for something that was going to change my life, that I could make this amount of money easily this way. If I didn't have that and I was 30 years old, 40 years old, I should really take a look at myself. That made me think it changed my life. That's when God uses our gifts to make room for us to add value to others. And when you add value to the lives of others, you will always come on top. You will always have enough, more than enough, because people will seek you out. People will find you out. Okay. So the thing is this, all right? This is one of the first laws of wealth. One of the first laws in the Bible. Okay. Sowing and reaping, seed time and harvest, learning to give as well as to receive, making your heart open to receive, even receiving criticism, okay, because iron sharpens iron. If you're in a position where you can't take criticism, you're in a very dangerous place. If no one can show you anything, if no one can help you, and I've been around leaders like that, okay, you're in a dangerous position, because this is the thing. Either you are growing or you're dying. There's no in between. Okay. So if everyone in your organization, the same people who are prospering, next year this time, those are the same people who are prospering, and the rest of the congregation, the rest of the group, the rest of the family is still in this same position, okay, then it's not a lot of growth going on, okay? And we can go back to this first law of giving and receiving. Knowing how to receive, knowing how to redirect it if you're not receiving, and say, hey, use this. You can still do it in my name, so I still get the blessing, but bless this person with it, rather than saying, no, I don't want it, or falsely saying you don't want something and then taking it. Okay, I've seen that happen before. Okay, but allowing the person to say, okay, I'm honored. You guys want to bless me. Thank you. I'm so honored. And because you did that, yes, give a portion of it back, but to say, no, I don't want it. I'm telling people don't do this for me, and then you openly receive it. Okay, People can see through that. Well, most people can see through that. Or really, I guess, like I said, just sitting down and taking the time to communicate. So here's a couple things, guys. I'm so grateful for everyone who has registered for the 3-day Stacks and Stocks seminar that's coming up. Registration is now closed. The door is closed. The window of opportunity is closed. Congratulations to the people who have won seminars. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's life-changing. I'm so excited. 3 days of learning. The third day of trading, okay? Learning how to make money while you sleep, making money 10 minutes out of each week, okay? Making enough money to replace or double your part-time or your full-time income. I'm so excited about that. Getting your mindset right to trade and to attract wealth in other ways. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Congratulations. Salute. Hats off to everyone who has signed up and also everyone who won, okay? That is great. It's coming up, okay? So that's closed. Another thing, I said that this is probably going to be one of my last Facebook Lives. The Facebook Lives are on Facebook, but if you don't want to search down the page, a lot of them are uploaded to YouTube. So if you want to go back and look at some of the stuff and go back over it or refer somebody else, please do. YouTube is on there as well. But this is going to be one of my last Facebook Lives because in the same token, in the same gesture, thought of giving and receiving, okay, learning to give and receive. I know my gift makes room for me and brings me before great people. There has been a great demand for people for me to start a mentoring group, and it has happened. I have people in the mentoring group. I will be opening the mentoring group for people who want to do it, and we'll be meeting probably twice monthly, okay? And it's possible each week, but I will be mentoring them on how to grow their business, to do things that I've done with my business, okay, as well as just pretty much get their mindset right to attract wealth, preparing them to take the course later on for this Stacks and Stocks. Just all types of things. It's pretty much helping them to go from going, part of my motto, going from being 9 to 5ers to 3 to 5ers. Monetizing their life work, okay, monetizing their passion, doing what they love, doing what they do, getting paid well to do it. Just adding more value to the world, adding more value to the job you're in now, having that mindset where you are able to be abased as well as to abound. All this type of stuff in the mentoring group that's going to be coming up. And so therefore I won't have a lot of time to do these. I'm not saying this is the last one. It might be 1 or 2 more. It might be 3 more. I don't know. But soon, and very soon, I will be actually spending this time mentoring. You guys know I already have two cash flow masterminds, one for teens, one for adults. So I meet with them. I'm doing free seminars as well as the classes, the paid classes and things like that. So I have a lot of time. I also, one of the reasons that I wanted to retire and have retired, God has blessed me, is to have more time freedom, not just money freedom, but time freedom. And so I do have a daughter, okay? She's less than 2 years old. She's 18 months today. All right, so that's little Richland. I give it up for Richland, 18-month-old today. All right, so spending more time doing things for my family, some family members who are in need, just doing the things that show that I'm grateful, that I am a great giver and receiver of the things that I have been blessed with. So if you want to be in the mentoring group, some people have already signed up, some people have already shown interest. It's good, okay? It's not going to be for everybody, but if it's for you, I'll make that opportunity available to you soon. I do have Better Than Average seminar, 1-day seminar coming up. It's probably going to be in fall, okay, because I'll probably be taking a break after I do this 3-day seminar from live events for a minute. But go back over this video, study it, reflect it, look in your Bible or your word, whatever you use, your success principles, and think about the law, the principle of reciprocity, giving and receiving, giving and both receiving. Okay, how that sets you up in the world to be wealthy. When you learn that, you definitely be wealthy on the inside. Okay, and it's going to manifest on the outside when you learn about giving, adding value to the world. Not trying to sell anybody anything. I told you this before, guys. Don't ever, if you know your price and you know what you deserve and what you want and what you need to build your dreams, okay? Don't ever lower the price. Find a way to add more value, okay? That's part of the techniques that I teach you, okay? You're never lowering your price, okay? Because one thing, if you're lowering the price, that's going to attract a certain type of people. And I've gone through this before, especially in my last live, that everything is not for everything. My classes and seminars are not for everybody. If you cannot come up with this month, you're probably not ready for it anyway, okay? it's already, it's underpriced, not undervalued, because I know where you are and I know where it can get you. So I don't have a problem with God subsidizing. If I say that I need you to pay $5,000 for this class, and I give it for $2,000, I know God will subsidize that $3,000. I have no problem with that, because I know how to add value in a way that you won't be disserviced and not appreciated, but in a way that you and I both win. How about that? I'm a winner. That's all I think about is winning. That's all I do. Okay. So guys, listen, it's been great tonight. Please share the video, like the video, go back and look at it so you can go back over some things. But I hope you learned something on the law of reciprocity, seed time and harvest, giving and receiving, karma, whatever you call it. Okay. And I hope you have been empowered and that your life will change as a result of this empowerment. Have a great rest of the night, a great weekend, and a wonderful life.